Yo, what is up, guys? So we are back with another video, and today is going to be in all the mods 10. So like I was doing some of my own like personal research on all the mods 10, and I just realized that there is so much work that actually needs to be done to be able to not only complete the star but automate the star. Because automating the star really isn't going to be that difficult, because we're just going to use bees to do so. But what is difficult, so like we have our essence building up and everything like that. Right now we're running a craft for 10, uh what was that, 256 million, I think that's what it is, 256 million mega storage components. We need like a bunch of those. So I'm running that. But today we're going to dive into industrial modern industrialization. So we're going to start off with the steam age. And I know we're kind of jumping around, but if we go to the all mod star, you can see that down here we need to get a large advanced motor. We also need to get uranium quad fuel rods and then blast proof casing. And not that these are super difficult to obtain, but they are very grindy to obtain. And so like I just drilled all the way down, not all the way, there's still some stuff below us, but this is just below our base. We are going to have this huge mansion of area that is underneath our base. So this is all underneath our base still. I'm going to try to just keep it all underneath our base and build layers up if need be. But like for right now, we have all this space to work with. And this is basically at the lowest that you can go. But it is just an area, and like I only cleared out a little bit of it because this would be a good enough space to get started within this mod. So first things first, if we go into the steam age, which is modern industrialization, as you can see, we are going to need bronze, which let me see if we have bronze. We don't need that much bronze. So yeah, we have 66,000 essence. So we should have no issue with creating bronze at all. If we have to, we can make a recipe for it. But the first thing that we're going to want to get into is, well, we're going to make machine casings, and then we're going to want to make a water pump. So what? And then we also got to make this little doohickey right here, which we can do that pretty easily. And I don't have an exact area I want to set this stuff up in, but I do have cables and stuff set up right here. So as we get started in this, we need to make a hammer, as it's said in the mod right here. Just make, do you need, oh, you need to, yeah, I'm not going to do the smithing table version, so we're just going to go diamond. It should not be too difficult to create this at all. All right, we need us to craft one of these for us so that we can make some diamond plates. There we go. We can make some of those, and then we should be able to make a diamond hammer. Nice. Okay, so we have that created, and now we can use this on this. And now we need to make some machine casings, which is just this, which we do need a bunch more iron nuggets. So there you go, we made a stack of that. And we need some plates also, which we'll need to craft some of this. Yeah, I thought, well, I think you can put bronze in here. Yes, and you can make plates that way. Just grab a couple stacks of bronze. Like so. You can toss those in there, and which need to slow down a little bit because we do need some other things also, but we can make a stack of these casings for right now. And then we also need to make, oh, this is copper. Well, we need a bronze tank, so we can actually do that. So toss those in there, and we're gonna need some copper. So let's grab some copper out. And then to make this, we need to make these and some bronze gears. We also need to make a tank, which we just don't have glass right now, which we can get glass, like no issue. But To make these, you need to make these, and these. And to make each individual one of these, you need this, and you need this, which we can make with this. Okay, so let's just make a bunch of this. All right, and then we are going to need that. We are going to need these. We are going to need these. Need some more of that. I think we're going to need some of those. And then might as well just make some more of this. I believe that's everything that we did need to make these. So if we go, actually nope, because we need to create these first, which is fine. We can toss all this in our system, make a stack of those, and then we could make a stack 16 of these, which is nice. So that should be done with that, and we make a couple stacks of gears. Like I said, all this gets to be automated later on. But for now, we also just need some bronze cables. So we need some more. We need some bronze real quick. Throw that in there, and then some bronze cable. We need glass. I might have to cancel this craft for right now. Maybe. Might be giving us glass. Not giving us the glass, which is unfortunate, so we're going to cancel this. Because we need our glass. Need that. So to make this, we should have bronze plates. I don't know how we don't. But we can make a bronze tank because it wants us to. Actually, we need it for this specifically. We don't need orange, but we'll take it, I guess. This is annoying. Okay. Glass. We'll use orange. We'll take a stack of those. And then we will make one of these. Okay. So this is just a fluid pump. And so what we are going to do off of this fluid pump, I'm trying to think about where I want to place these, but we can just place it right here for right now. Okay. So I did just have the wrong machine in my mind. I haven't played this one in a while. So we need a bronze boiler. Well, actually, we'll take one for right now because that's fine. We just have to toss it down on there. This should fill up with water. Yep, filled up with water. Now we just need to power it. So we'll take some coal. Make some coal blocks. Toss those in there. And that's going to start generating steam. And so what that should realistically do is it should put steam back into our system, because I do have it auto exporting, locking, editing, shift click to lock all. This is filled with that. So I believe if I go down like this and then shift that, I should auto export the steam. If not, we can solve that by just putting extra import bus right here, and then throwing some cards in there, and then taking steam out. Steam from mechanism, modern industrialization, steam, and then all we gotta do is connect this like so, and then now we should have steam in our system. Yep, there it goes. We'll speed this up just because. Just try to get as much in here as possible, so we just have a little bit of, yeah, there we go. We have a little bit of a breather there now. So now that we have steam generated, we can start moving on to the other forms of machinery, which the other forms of machinery are going to be the mixer. So we're going to want a mixer. We are going to want a compressor, and we are going to need both of these furnaces. We're actually going to need a few of these furnaces, and then we also go on a macerator and a cutting machine. So our goal is to speed run this as fast as possible. So I'll just toss this stuff in there that is going to be used for other things. We don't have to search for it. We don't need the barrel. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. We'll keep the wrench on us and the hammer on us. We can get rid of most of these. So we need the mixer. Boom. Easy. Mixer done. Bronze compressor. Mixing one of these. Done. And we're going to need the macerator. Done. And the cutting machine. Done. Probably the fastest I ever got any of that done. So so all of these are going to be steam powered, which is a little frustrating, which honestly, the other issue that I had previously was running out of channels when it came to this one. But since we now have P2P set up, I can run all these machines on patterns. So then if we go to extended, just make 10 of these. We don't need 10 right now, we only need 4. So if we put one there, we can run these just like this. And then we can do one there and one there. Place each of these machines on our machine, like so. And then now all we need to do is pump steam into these. So if we take our export buses and some cables, actually, I wonder if we can do import export buses on these and export out. I think we can. So actually, let's grab our wrench. Because on these machines, you can go in here and you can do auto export. So we are going to go with import export buses. And then connect those just like so. And those should be, actually I don't want to do it that way. Let me take that one out. And then I can just connect this like that. And all those should be online now. Maybe I just gotta fill them up with steam. So actually if we grab our memory card, which is just cool. If you didn't know, you can grab the memory card and you can also use it on these. So if you take this, fill it up, and then put steam in there, like so, you can actually copy this and paste it into each one, and it'll paste everything, including the cards. So now these should be filling up with steam. Should be. Yep, this one has 2,000, this one has 2,000. This one should be filling up. Do we have, how much steam do we have? Ooh. We should have enough steam. This one's missing a channel. Oh, does this already have 8 channels? Oh, it does have 8 channels because those are connected like that. So what we actually need to do is grab our ink, like so. I believe we just have to anchor all of these like this. And now that is still missing a channel. It might just be because these are not dense cables, which we can change that because we do have dense cables. I know this isn't like the exact clean label. Like I said, this isn't going to be the final, and then 2, we are going to organize this in the future. What I'm going to do is actually connect this down there, and then also disconnect these like this, and put dense cable in, including down here, which might mess some things up. Ooh, this needs to be can't be connected by a dense cable. Okay. But what we can do is route this just over here like this, carry some channels across. And I believe that should be all of them having channels now, yes, except for this one because it's not connected. And that should be all good. And now what we're just gonna do for right now is we're just gonna take our cover-ups and cover this mess up. So we don't have to see any of it. We'll see that stuff for right now. In between, don't have to see. Okay, so that should be better now. And then, so that can go in there, same thing with that and that. So might as well just put all those in there also. So, now that we have these machines set up, I want to create a pattern encoding terminal. Pattern encoding. Wireless pattern encoding terminal. You just need to make one of these. Make that easy. So make that. Like that. Okay, and we need to make one of those. Boom. Make that. And I believe that we can put these in an inventory together like so. It'll make a universal. So now we should be able to make patterns and pull. Now we just need a pattern access terminal. Pattern access terminal. Oh, which we are in. I don't want that one. Open wireless crafting. So access terminal. Make one of those. Make one of those. Craft that, and now we should be able to add this in there. Boom, and now we should have access to, so we can do pattern access right here, so we can access our patterns. We can also create our patterns right here. We can keep 64 in there. So now we can create patterns for everything that we're gonna need. All right. So now we just need to make the ovens, which we can do that real fast, just like that. We'll go back to our crafting terminal. And now we just need to make these ovens. So we need bricks, which we have bricks. So actually gonna need bricks to make this. And we also need one of these. And we also are going to need more of these, which fire clay. That's not going to be enough. Can we make more of this? We can. Let that cook that up. Make some more of those. That should be enough. So to make this, so you need 32 in that, and we also need to make import export hatches. So let's build these up real quick. So the easiest way to build this, I believe, is if we put, we're gonna build 3 of them. So we do that, and we hold the wrench in the offhand. I know that's bright, I apologize. It's the glowstone, and holding this wrench specifically in this hand, it causes this. Just like that. And now this is active. All we need for this right now is input output hatches. So input, so we need to be able to put steam into it. So we need a fluid input hatch. We need a fluid output hatch, which is just like this. So we're gonna need some of those. So we're gonna have fluid output hatch. And then we are going to need a item input hatch. Oh, that make that fluid item. So you need a fluid item input and item output. And then all we do is take these. So we have fluid in, we'll have fluid in, fluid, or we'll have the in one side and then the out in another. So that can go right there. So we will have, what is this? Fluid in, fluid out. So no, we want fluid in and item in. So fluid in, and then item in. We put this brick back. And over here we will have, what is this? Fluid out, item out. And now this should be completely set up now where we can get that started, which we'll do that in a little bit. Let's just do our next oven real fast. And we will do this one over on this side because we're going to need a few of each of these. So this one, we're just going to put that down just like that. Try to build this real fast. We need more of that, which is just fire clay. Can we make any more of this? Oh, not just one. Can we do? Can't do 100. So let's take this out real quick. So what we need to do is we need to put clay, brick, and put brick into the compressor. No, into the macerator. Auto export that back into the system. That is what it's doing. And then now we can make some more of this. Which this can now be turned into what we needed to, which will give us 10 more. So we can put that back in our hand. We are one shy. Boom, now that's set up, and now we need to do the same thing. We need fluid in, fluid out. So we need fluid input hatch, fluid output hatch. And if I'm not mistaken, what these are, what is this is used for is it'll turn raw synthetic. So actually we don't even need item input right here. So we will put our fluid input right there. And actually I think we're gonna, that was wrong. Need to put this back to it right now. I believe we'll actually need to have two inputs. So let's make another fluid input. And that's because we need to put steam, and we also need to put the fuel or the organic in there, organic oil. So what this will do right here, so the coke oven, when you put coal in there, it'll create coal coke and creosote, and we'll need coke dust and creosote. So what we can do is, let's see if we have any coal dust. We don't have any coal dust, so what we can do is we can make coal dust through a crusher. Or yeah, where's the crusher at? There's one crusher. Enrichment chamber, precision sawmill, no. Maybe that's why. There it is. We need to make this, and then we need to put that into our crusher so that we have coal dust being created. And then let's just create 1,000 of that real quick. Yep, because we're gonna want coal dust going into the item. So what we're gonna do is we are actually going to run this P2P tunnel all the way over here. So what I actually need to do is go grab a P2P channel Not difficult. Just need our memory card. And we're using the black channels right here. So this one. Ooh, these are all carrying channels, I think. 21, 3. This is only one, which we'll see if this will work. We need to put this on here. Hopefully it doesn't change to a light. It did not, so it's great. So then we'll run a dense cable. I might have to create more of it, not a big deal. Let's do 100 of those. All right, so we have some dense cable, carrying channels, and we'll have this come right here, like so. And then we need our exporters. So fluid input, item input, and we can have regular cables going up like this. And then we can put our acceleration cards in. So we can put acceleration cards in and coal dust, and then we can do our acceleration cards and steam, like so. And then this should be on. Do we not have coal dust? Is that not the coal dust we have in our system? Oh wait, oh, this is a fluid, that's why. We need steam to go on this side, and we need coal to go on this side. Simple, easy mistake. And then now this should be, are these both fluids? No, this is item. Oh, let's put acceleration cards in. All right, there we go. And then now all we need to do is bring this over right here. Oh my gosh. All right. And we're gonna want import buses, which I swear I had those. If not, not a big deal. Import buses, like so and like so. And then we are going to want to put these in, that out. And we are going to want to put these in there. So what is this? This is the item. So we're going to want that to pull that out and that to pull that out. And then all we have to do is take our dense cable, run that over like that, and then take our regular cable up and up. And now this should be automated. And if we go into our terminal, we should start seeing coke dust. Yep, coke dust, and then creosote oil. There we go. So that is that one automated. Which again, I'm gonna do this like 3 more times so that there's a bunch of it being created. So we actually might need some more steam boilers because right now this steam boiler is not keeping up. And then for this one, is just going to be putting the creosote in there along with steam. So what we should be able to do is just route this dense cable over like this with no issue. Well, I don't really want to do it that way. Just have it come out this way. And then we need to put export buses like so. And then take the speed cards and then put the creosote in, speed cards and the steam like so. And now this one should be activated. Now I should be able to bring the dense cable over from right here. Like so. And then have a import bus. And this should be pulling out. So this should be active. So that's full of creosote. That's full of steam. And so it should be pumping out. So if you take this and you put this in a, there's a mixer to make lubricants. What is the coke oven meant for? Or the steam blast furnace? Ah, wait. So yeah, raw synthetic oil. Oh, we put creosote in there. We need raw synthetic oil. Yikes. So take that out. And then we need to take that off, and let's put a import bus on there. Hopefully that just imports it all. We might be able to just break this. Oh, that's output now. Now it's an input. And put a export bus back on that. That's empty now. So now what we need to put, we put raw synthetic in there. Which we don't have raw synthetic. So raw synthetic in there with that. And so when we have raw synthetic, that's what will be pumped in there. And to get raw synthetic, you actually just have to take the mixer. To get raw synthetic, you put water in the coke dust in there, and then you can lock that. But I don't know if it will auto pull that. But if we, this is import export bus, so we have steam going in. So what does it take? It takes water and coal dust. So coke dust, so that and water in there. So that's going in, water's going in, and it is creating the coke dust or the synthetic oil. Yep, so it just creates synthetic oil. So then it should be pulling out the synthetic oil if I turn the auto export. So that should, now this is on, and now this should be pumping out the synthetic oil. We're almost done here. Take that, and then acceleration cards, and then synthetic oil. So now we just created synthetic oil, which now should be in our system. Synthetic oil, we have 0.02. So we have that basic set up now. So now we have, I'll explain it real quick before ending the episode. So now what we have happening, so we have this lock, so this will always run this recipe, which is perfectly fine with me. But so now what we have happening, so we have coal dust going into here, and that is generating our coke dust and some oil. And then what we do is we take that coke dust and water, put it in here, and that will create raw synthetic oil. Then the raw synthetic oil will come over to here, go into the fire clay with some steam, and that will generate our synthetic oil, which we can then use synthetic oil for a bunch of different crafts. Like we have black dye, which that's not the main one. So it says dye right here, but I believe steel mixer. Yes, here we go. You can make synthetic rubber out of it in a steel mixer, and then use that synthetic rubber to make your paper or your rubber sheets, or you can use it in assembler to make wires and everything along those lines. So it's going to be very helpful down the line. So we're going to actually make 3 of each of these, and we can just have 3 of the coke ovens going, and that should be plenty to keep this busy. We can speed this up over time also, but this is just the beginning part of it. That's going to be the end of this episode. And then in the next episode, once I have all this built up and somewhat organized, we will get into the next advancement, which actually, before we go, we're going to do one more thing real quick, which is the steel upgrade, which should not be too difficult for us to do. We just need to make some more bronze items and we should be good to go. So we make a stack of those, and then we're gonna need all of these fancy doodads, which I'll need to make one of these, which is fine for right now. So we can speed this process up because we will need to make the rings and the bronze bolts. So let's grab some bronze. So we need some rings and we need some bolts. So toss those in there and we should be able to make these. Made 16 of those. So now we should be able to make a bunch of these, which we can make a bunch of these. That's not a bunch, but it is some more. Boom, toss those in there, and then we're gonna need some gears. Boom, toss those in there. We need some cases. Boom, we got 16 of those. So we should be able to make more of those. We need some fire clay, not a big deal. 10 should be enough. So now what we can do is we can click these on here and just make these the next level, which it doesn't work on these, but it works on these, which is nice, because so that is going into the steel age, which is a little bit better than what we currently had. But like I said, in the next episode, we're going to get into the electronic age, which is going to speed everything up so much. But between episodes, I'm going to get a couple more coke ovens set up and organize this a little bit so it just looks a little bit better. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any comments or concerns or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I did read a couple of your guys' comments, and I really do appreciate the love and support. And also, if you guys are following along, just let me know down below and we can definitely get some conversations going about how some things should be done, or if you need some ideas for anything, vice versa. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.